Welcome back, students. In this video, we are going to cover DMA2 review. I believe I called it day 1 today, but it's really just a review of DMA for our DMA2. So in this course, we've covered modules 1 through 6. Now our DMA2 is actually going to cover the entire book, but we can only prepare for what we can. So this is just a few questions randomly selected from release materials and old tests and such that to try to help us prepare. So we covered this in class today. If you were out or didn't catch all this, for whatever reason, or just need to brush up, this is for you. So let's just get started here. So number 1. Consider the statement. If parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the alternate angles are congruent. So it says the statement, if alternate angles of two lines cut by a transversal are congruent, then the lines are parallel, is related to the first statement, which term describes that relationship. So up here, parallel lines cut by a transversal, anything after if is our P statement. And then alternate angles are congruent. So anything after then is our Q statement from the original. Okay. So now alternate angles of two parallel lines cut by a transversal are congruent. So are congruent. That's Q. Then the lines are parallel. See, parallel was there, P. So when it's Q then P, that is the converse. So the inverse is not P, not Q. A negation would just be negating it. And the contrapositive would be not Q, not P. But in this case, it was converse. All right, moving up. Number 2, and this is worded a little strangely, but what is the contrapositive of the statement, right triangles have a right angle? All right, so first the contrapositive. All right, that is not Q, not P. Okay, so here, right triangles is your P, have a right angle is your Q. Now, again, it's written kind of strangely. So this would be if a triangle is a right triangle, then it has a right angle. So we want not Q, not P. So we want to say a triangle does not have a right angle, then it is not a right triangle. So this is has and is. So these are not no's. This says is not a right triangle. Well, that's not P, not Q. So that's not the contrapositive. But this one says it's does not have a right angle. So Q. Oops. So this is not Q, and then this here is not P. So this is your answer. All right, let's look up here. Number 3. I'm just gonna put these both where we can see them together. You going to the right hand? Okay, I'll be in a few minutes. All right, so for number 3, find the value of x that make K parallel to M. All right, so we're talking about these angles. Notice they are inside the parallel lines. So they're on the interior, right? One's on the left of the transversal, one's on the right. So they're alternate. Sorry, I got too close there. So alternate interior angles are congruent. So to solve for this, we got 4x plus 11 equals 6x minus 13. All right, so 4 is smaller than 6. This is the way I do this. We're going to subtract 4x. These cancel. 6x minus 4x is 2x minus 13. So let's add the 13 to both sides because we want to isolate x. These cancel. 2x equals 11 plus 13 is 24. Divide both sides by 2. And x equals 12. And they asked us for x, so we just put in 12. All right, got to scoot down a little more because we're going to need some room here. So number 6. So what is the area in square units for a right triangle? So first off, how do you find the area of a triangle? Well, the area of a triangle is 1/2 of the base times the height. In this case, this guy's the base, this is the height. We need to use the distance formula to find, so the area here is going to be 1/2 of ST times RS. We're going to find that through the distance formula. So RT, now remember distance formula, x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. So let's go over here. We're going to do RT, do ST, and then come up with that. So RT, not RT. We don't want that. That's the hypotenuse. It's ST, excuse me. And then over here we'll do RS. So excuse me. All right, so ST. So our x's are -3 minus -5, so that's +5. And then we got 6 minus 4 on the other side. -3 and +5, that makes -2. -2 squared is 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. 2 squared is also 4. So ST equals the square root of 8, which, give me a moment, is 2.8, which we round up to 3, okay? And over here, so RS, R and S, so we've got -5 minus -8, and we've got 4 minus 7. All right, -5 and 8 makes -3. -3 squared is 9. 4 minus 7 is -3. -3 squared again is 9. So RS is the square root of 18. And when we check our handy-dandy calculator, that's 4.2, which we will round down to 4. So up here, ST was 3, excuse me. RS was 4. 4 times 3 is 12. And then 1/2 of 12 means that the area of this guy is 6. Let me just circle that because we got all this junk. All right. Flipping over. All right, number 5. Now this is on our reference sheet. So cylindrical trash can is 30 inches high and has a base of 7 inches. Customer wants to know the volume. So volume of a cylinder is base area times height. Now I happen to know that the base for these cylinders are circles. So the base area for a circle is pi r squared. So we can replace that. We can say volume equals pi r squared times the height. Obviously, this is the radius, this is the height. They want the answer in terms of pi. So we're going to leave pi. So we're going to fill in, so pi times, the radius here is 7, so 7 squared, and then 30 is the height. So 7 squared is 49 times 30, and then we've got pi. And 49 times 30 is 1,470 pi. Well, again, they want it in terms of pi, so we're not going to multiply by pi. We're just going to leave it at that. Just remember, pi is the button on the calculator. It's 3.14 only when they tell you. All right, number 6. 2 lines intersect at a point below. So where is my little highlighter? So remember, anytime 2 lines intersect and they make an X, those are vertical angles. One second. All right, so vertical angles, the left and the right and the top and the bottom. So in this case, angle 1 would be congruent to angle 2. Angle 3 would be congruent to angle 4 because they're being vertical angles. So PTQ, this is 120 degrees. And then STR, the bottom side, is 2x minus 10. So, and they want x. So to set this up, because 3 and 4 are congruent, it's 120 equals 2x minus 10. All right, add 10 to both sides. I'll scoot over here. So 2x equals 130. Divide both sides by 2. And x is going to equal, should be 75, but let me double check myself. 65. I knew that didn't sound right. Okay. All right, number 7. All right, so number 7. Find the surface area of the rectangular prism picture below. Okay, I just noticed that this said surface area. So all day we've been doing the volume. So I'm going to give you both. So surface area is so that's what it takes to cover this. So you would have a base and a base. So 2 bases plus the perimeter, because you got to go all the way around it, times the height. All right, the volume is just length times width, which gives you the base area times the height. Or length times width times height. So volume is just 4 times 5 times 16. Hold on, stupid calculator. Which is 320. And that's why we kept going back and forth today. I think nobody would say that it's surface area, not volume. They just told me I was the wrong answer, and so we're not communicating properly. So I'm going to do both, so you get 2 for the price of 1. So your base area, so that's length times width. 5 times 4 is 20. Your perimeter is this side plus this side plus this side plus this side. So 4 plus 5 plus 4 plus 5. 9 plus 9 is 18. The height is 16. So 2 times 20 is 40. Oops. 18 times 16, so that's your perimeter times your height, is 288. So this would be your lateral area. Surface area covers the top and the bottom. Lateral is what you would see if you're looking at it, if this was a building and you were standing in front of it. All right, and then 40 plus 288 equals 328. So for surface area, that is D. For those of you that kept telling me C today, that's the volume, and we didn't notice that. So that's why very important in geometry. What is it asking for? Because that will get you wrong all the time. All right, number 8. What is the measure of angle CBD? CBD. So this guy up here. All right, notice we have this triangle, and we have two of the angles, so we can figure the third, but that doesn't help us here. What we do have is this guy right here. So this line is a straight line. Remember, a straight line is 180 degrees. Well, anytime we break that, that's a linear pair. And both of those equal 180. So this guy is 180 minus 80. 180 minus 80, of course, is 100. Now to find this angle, CBD is 180 minus 100 plus 35, or 135. 180 minus 135 is 45 degrees. Okay, moving down real quick. I'm going to color these quickly. So this is 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, no, 2, 3, 2, 1. All right, so these are for the angles, these are for the sides. Not as neat as I normally do, but we're trying. All right, so select all the valid congruent statements. So we got to look at our corresponding parts. So F and R. F is 1 arc. R is over here with 3 arcs. So that's a no. G has 2. T has 2. So that one's a good one. GH is over here with 2. TR is over here with 2. Another good one. All right, ST. ST has 3. HF has, nope, HF has 1. So, no bueno. All right, GHF. So, 2, 3, 1. TRS, 2, 3, 1. And then the other triangle, I can tell you, anytime we rearrange the letters like that, they did it backwards. The T stayed the same. They flip-flopped the wrong letters. So those are your 3 correct there. Bottom here, or bottom number 10. So they want to know if this is a right, acute, or an obtuse triangle. So we got to solve for X and plug it in. Well, we know anytime a triangle, it equals 180 degrees, right? So 180 equals, and we're going to combine these. So 15x plus 6x is 21x. 21x plus 4x is 25x. Negative 1 and positive 1 make 0. So that only leaves us with plus 5. So subtract 5 because we want 25 by itself. I mean x by itself, excuse me. So 25x equals 180 minus 5 is 175. Divide both sides by 75. I'm sorry, by 25. I can't talk. 175 divided by 25 gives us x equals 7. So now we plug in 7x or 7 times, I'm sorry, 4x or 4 times 7 is 28 minus 1 is 27. 6 times 7 is 42 plus 5 is 47. And then up here, 15 times 7 is 105 plus 1 is 106. So we have an angle bigger than 90. So we have an obtuse triangle. Easy peasy. Number 11, bottom of the screen. So this 20x, this is your exterior angle. We learned earlier this year that the 2 remote angles, so not this guy, these 2 touch, but these 2 are remotes because they don't touch this guy. He equals these 2. So 20x is going to equal 7x plus 5 plus 60. That's the other angle. 60 plus 5 is 65. We're just combining and going here. Okay, let's move the 7x over. Subtract 7x from both sides. So now you got 13x equals 65. And when you divide 65 by 13, x equals 5. And of course, they wanted x, so we're good there. All right, flip it over. So number 12, top of the back page. Is it possible to form a triangle with the given sides? So we learned that any 2 sides of a triangle are greater than the 3rd side. So we add the 2 small numbers. If they're greater than, it's a triangle. If it's less than or equal to, it's not. All right, so 8 plus 5. 8 plus 5 is 13. 13 is less than 16. So that is not a triangle. You can watch. All right, the next one, 9 plus 17. Because we can add the smaller 2 numbers. That's the easiest way. Instead of adding everything, and if the 2 smaller numbers are bigger than the other number, it's a triangle. If they're smaller or the same, it's not. So 9 plus 17 is 26. 26 is less than 29, so that's not a triangle. So what about 15 plus 16? 15 plus 16 is 31. 31 is greater than 26, so we got a triangle now. All right, 16 plus 19. 16 plus 19 is 35, which is greater than 30. So this one's a triangle also. And then the last one. 3 plus 14 is 17. 17 is not greater than 28. It's less than. So these two guys were your two triangles. All right. We've only got a couple more questions. I'm going to try to hurry through here. Number 13. So two paddle boats leave the lake shore from the same dock. Paddle boat A, it's going to go 40 yards, take a 45-degree angle, and then travel another 10 yards. Paddle boat B is going to travel 40 yards, just like this one. It's going to go 75 degrees, and then another 10. So what you have is you have a triangle that is 10 on one side, 40 on the other, 10 on one side. So two congruent sides, it's the angle. So one is 45 degrees, and one is 75 degrees. We learned that when two triangles have two congruent sides, the included angle, so the bigger the angle, the bigger the side. So we'll just say larger angle, longer side equals longer side, and also smaller angle equals shorter side. Okay, so they're asking which statements are true. Okay, A says that they're equidistant. Well, if they were equidistant, those angles would be the same. So that's a no. A is further from the dock. So let's write this down. A went the 45 degrees. B went there. So 75 is greater than 45. So this is no. B is further. 75 is greater than 45. So C is correct. And they're not both back at the dock. They're still out in the water. All right, to the bottom. We got two more on that side. All right, find the measure of angle JAF. So JAF's down here. So we're dealing with these angle bisectors. So up here, that's 28.5. This side's 28.5. This is 33.9. This is 33.9. Okay, so we're looking for this guy down here. Both of these sides are the same. So 28.5 and 28.5 make angle C 57. 33.9 and 33.9 make angle B 67.8. So angle A is going to be 180 minus those two, because forget these guys in the middle, it's still a triangle. 180 minus 57 minus 67.8 makes angle A worth 55.2. Well, remember, these are split in half, so we need half of that to give them JAF. So half of 55.2 means the measure of angle JAF equals 27.6 degrees. Okay. All right, number 15. This is actually a duplicate of number 2. We were supposed to change this to say inverse instead of converse. I forgot to change it before I printed it. So what is the inverse to the statement, right triangles have a right angle? So remember, inverse is not P, not Q. So this is P, this is Q. Remember, this was the contrapositive earlier. So if a triangle is not a right triangle, then it does not have a right angle. So your contrapositive would be C. So you're negating both. These both had no negation, so that's why I didn't even look at A and B. All right, flip it over. 16. The diagram shows a construction of line AB by copying an angle at point P. So we copied these angles. What statement explains why AB is parallel to BC? So they made these two congruent. So copied angles are congruent, so that goes where all of them. So which one of these is right? So vertical angles. Remember, vertical angles make an X. And it would be this and this and this and this. That is not vertical angles. All right, alternate interior. Remember, alternate interior means that it's in between these and it's on opposite sides. So not that one. All right, corresponding angles. Now corresponding angles look like this, and 1, 2, 3, 4 goes with 5, 6, 7, 8. So that would be like this guy and this guy, which are corresponding angles, and that is your correct. Supplementary copied angles are congruent supplementary angles. Well, to be congruent and supplementary, they would have to be on both sides because that's a straight line. All right, flipping down. Last two. Number 17. The area of the triangle below is 6 units. What is the value of m? So we have these coordinates. Remember, area equals 1/2 of the base times the height. So height, base, and we know the area is 6. So we use the distance formula to go. These are both on 2, so to go from 1 to -2, so let's say this is 1, this is 0, so we would go 1, 2, 3. So this guy is 3. These are both, so your base is 3. So we're looking for height, because this is -2, -2. It's how far up from 2 does it go? Well, let's use the formula. Let's get h by itself, because that's what we want. So divide both sides by 1/2. 6 divided by 1/2 is, what am I doing? Hold on. Yeah, I'm doing that. Okay, making sure I was doing it right. All right, so now 6 divided by 1/2 is 12. And that's 3 times the height. Divide both sides by 3. So the height is 4. Now to go from, on a number line, from 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, it would be 2, 3, 4. Wait a minute. So -2, so 2. And then we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 3, 4, 5, 6. So our answer is 6. All right, on the bottom, last one, number 18. Find point P that represents the weighted average of points A and B. Point A has a weight of 1/3. Point B has a weight of 2/3. So this is your W1. This is your W2. Weight 1, weight 2. A is going to be your X1. B is going to be your X2. Your formula is X1 W1 plus X2 W2 divided by W1 plus W2. Now notice W1 is 1/3, W2 is 2/3. 1/3 plus 2/3 equals 1. So anything over 1, that fraction is disappearing. So X of 1 is -7 times 1/3 plus X of 2 is -4 times 2/3. All right, so this is going to be -7/3, and this is going to be -4 times 2 is -8/3. So -7/3 and -8/3 makes -15/3, which becomes -5. And that's where point P will be, -5. All right, good luck on the DMA. If you have any questions, please let me know. Until next time, have a good night.